We pause for a moment today to give tribute to the outstanding life of our fellow public servant, friend, and proud Kentuckian, Mike Haydon. We are honored today to have Mike's wife, Lisa, here on the floor with us, Mike's children, Blair, Kate, and Ben, Mike's parents, C.H. and Francis, Mike's brothers, sisters, and spouses, Joe Pat and Nell Haydon, Mary Ann Hale, Nancy and David Carney, Betty and Louis Barber, Hugh and Kim Haydon, and Laura Haydon, and other friends and family members here on the Senate floor and in the gallery. Mike treasured them and often told us so. Also joining us here today to honor Mike are Governor Steve Beshear and First Lady Jane Beshear, and several of Mike's co-workers, Kelly Talby, Kate Foster, Roger Thomas, Larry Bond, Eddie Jacobs, Judge Dan Kelly, Judge John Settles, Crit Llewellyn, Coleman Eldridge, Mary Lassiter, Sally Flynn, and Christina Smith. Mike's lasting impact on his family, his friends, his co-workers, and the state of Kentucky as a whole cannot be overstated. Those who knew Mike would say that he was, above all, completely devoted to his family. His commitment to the Commonwealth was total also. He made our betterment his professional life's mission, and his work touched the lives of every Kentuckian. He labored in the trenches, not on stage, in the dim lights of a late night in the Capitol, not in the spotlight of political fame. He could argue with great passion and almost youthful excitement and intensity with every issue he addressed. None could match, and I mean none could match, his colorful vocabulary. And very few, if any, could match the depth of his knowledge and his experience. And while Mike was proud, unabashed Democrat, he never let a party line stop him from reaching out and working with the political opponents to accomplish what he thought was best for every citizen of the Commonwealth. He was a consummate professional. You might not always agree with Mike, but you would always, always respect him. Rarely is there such an absolute consensus in Frankfort that exists here today. Mike Haydon's work made Kentucky a better state and made us better as people and public servants. We remember Mike today for the decades of commendable service he gave to the Commonwealth. We also remember him as our friend. Today we honor Mike Haydon for all that he was: a loving husband, father, and family man, a loyal friend, an invaluable co-worker, a devoted public servant, a model Kentuckian. Mr. President, would you have the clerk report Senate Resolution 15 and read it in its entirety?
Mr. Clerk, please report and read it in its entirety.
Senate Resolution number 15, a resolution adjourning the Senate in loving memory and honor of Mike Haydon, Chief of Staff of Governor Steve Beshear. Whereas Mike Haydon was born on June 1st, 1950 in Springfield, Kentucky, to C.H. and Frances Haydon. One of 7 brothers and sisters, Mike Haydon enjoyed growing up in Washington County. He attended St. Dominic Elementary School and Washington County High School, then graduated from Western Kentucky University. And whereas Mike Haydon served in the Kentucky National Guard and the United States Army, after his military service, he began his career in public service at the local level in his native Washington County. During the early part of his career, he worked for both the Lincoln Trail and Buffalo Trace area development districts. From 1983 until 1985, he worked as the Springfield City Administrator. In 1985, Mike Haydon was elected Washington County Property Valuation Administrator. Prior to the end of his term, Governor Brereton Jones tapped him for state service because of his outstanding talent and commitment to public service. And whereas his state public service spanned the administrations of 4 Kentucky governors, in 1990, his career began as Deputy Secretary of the Revenue Cabinet in the administration of Governor Wallace Wilkinson. During the administration of Governor Brereton Jones, he initially served as the Director of Purchasing for the Finance and Administration Cabinet and was subsequently chosen the Deputy Secretary of Finance in 1993. Mike Haydon managed the Department of Property Taxation in the Revenue Cabinet for Governor Paul Patton in 1996. Later, Governor Patton appointed him as Secretary of the Revenue Cabinet and then as the Deputy Secretary of the Executive Cabinet under Secretary Crit Llewellyn. And whereas the people of his hometown elected Mike Haydon mayor of Springfield, Kentucky, where he worked with boundless energy for his hometown. During this time, he worked diligently on many major redevelopment projects. He developed a curbside recycling program and expanded water lines in Springfield, Kentucky. And whereas Majority Floor Leader Rocky Atkins picked Mike Haydon as his Chief of Staff in December 2003, Representative Adkins praised him as a great service to me when I became Majority Leader. Furthermore, Representative Rocky Adkins admired him for his years in public service, knowledge of the legislative process, and intellect. He served in this capacity until Governor Steve Beshear appointed him to manage the Governor's Office of Legislative Relations. And whereas his public service career culminated in his appointment as Chief of Staff for Governor Steve Beshear in 2010, Mike Haydon considered it an honor to serve the governor as his Chief of Staff. Governor Beshear praised him for his dedication, counsel, knowledge, and sense of humor. Governor Beshear felt a great sense of personal loss for his friend and Chief of Staff, who was so committed to a better future for Kentucky and its citizens. Whereas Mike Haydon, a devoted Democrat, was a highly respected man and was able to transcend party lines and work cooperatively for the betterment of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Senator Jimmy Higdon put it this way: politics never came into play when Mike Haydon and I had a conversation about an issue. Senator Higdon also praised Mike Haydon for his leadership and behind-the-scenes work. And whereas Mike Haydon was truly a devoted man, devoted to his family, he was a loving and devoted father and husband. On August 12, 2012, he passed away suddenly, and his loss is mourned by his wife, family, and friends throughout the breadth of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. He is survived by his lovely wife, Lisa Jones Haydon, and their 3 children, Blair, Kate, and Ben, his parents, C.H. and Frances Haydon, his brothers, Charlie, Hugh, and Joe Pat Haydon, and his sisters, Marianne Hale, Nancy Carney, and Betty Carol Barber, and Laura Haydon, numerous nieces, nephews, great-nieces, and great-nephews. Whereas Mike Haydon was a member of the St. Dominic Parish, the Knights of Columbus, the Lions Club, and furthermore, he served on many county and state boards and organizations. His devotion to his family and friends, as well as his dedication to public service and the future of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, are the hallmarks of Mike Haydon, an outstanding Kentuckian. Be it resolved by the Senate of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the Senate expresses its deep sense of sorrow upon the passing of this outstanding public servant, Mike Haydon, and extends to his family, friends, and community its sincere condolences for the tragic loss of a wonderful family man and friend. When the Senate adjourns this day, it does so in loving memory and honor of the late Mike Haydon, the former Chief of Staff for Governor Steve Beshear.
Senator from Marion.
Mr. President, I ask that all members be listed as co-sponsors and move for its adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. The matter before the body is adoption of the resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Senator from Marion.
Mr. President, before I yield, if anyone else wanted to say something, I do want to relate a short story that happened in the hallway just a few minutes ago. Lisa asked the governor if he was going to give a speech here today. And I told her, you know, don't push it. We were lucky to get him in on the Senate floor.
Thank you, Senator from Marion. Let this body stand in a moment of silence for our lost friend and an honored public servant, Mike Haydon. Thank you. To the family, we hope this shows our loss and sorrow for your loss of a friend of ours and a friend of this institution, Mike Haydon. Thank you all so much for being here today. Body will stand at ease for just a few moments.